Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And what I have is the Hazet 4-piece adapter set. This is product 6064SPC. And it's a 4-piece set of adapters. In the case of these 3 parts, it's a component that's very much like a spinner that basically fits into a wrench. The wrench box end of a wrench, preferably a ratcheting one, that then allows you to drop a socket into the onto the end of the wrench. So if I took this one here, the 3/8 size fits on a 13 millimeter wrench. Just punch it through and put a socket on. Has a locking mechanism here, so it stays, even though there might be some play here. You can see that it stays in position, but then gives you essentially a fully functional ratchet. As you can see there. Told you that these kind of wrenches were also ratchets. But the price is pretty amazing. It's about, I think I paid around $33. And that's for 4 pieces. Here are the 3 of them. And then also there is this guy here, which is a bit holder. And I'll get to that in a moment. So how does this compare as a spinner? Well, here's a snap-on 1/4-inch spinner. So you can see it's obviously the snap-on, it's a little beefier. It's got the pass-through for attaching it to a ratchet or breaker bar or whatever. This is a probably a little lighter metal. Uses an O-ring. Now you're saying, well, what about that Gador you did the video on a little bit ago? That's right here. I really like this thing. It's rock solid. It is a little smaller. So I'm getting a little bit more of a spinny wheel here. So if I throw this one on, this goes on a 10, the 1/4-inch. So if I push that on, I can get a little bit better of a spinner than a spinning wheel than I can. It's Gador's 3/8 on a 13. That's a little bit harder to work with there. But these are held on or held in place if you look by a little O-ring. And that O-ring, you can see, is already getting chewed up. I don't think it's going to last, even though they do provide extra O-rings. That is a weakness, especially since some wrenches, this really fits in tight. Like, let me grab this one here. Grab a couple more. This Vera here, Joker, this is really in there snug. You can see. So that's going to really cut into that O-ring. However, it does work. It does work very well. Once we've got it on a wrench like this, here's a Ace Professional, aka gear wrench. Just solid little unit. You can push it even further. What if I used, say, one of these little Vim ratcheting wrenches? I can take that and drop my 1/4-inch wherever it went. Here it is. Maybe put a socket on it. So now I've got a socket driver here as well. Now, having this on this kind of an arrangement was already pretty close, but sockets do make a big difference. And of course, it works as a spinner. This one's reversible, through the positioning of it here. So, pretty solid. Okay, the big one works on a 19. Pretty large. Whoops, that's the snap on there. It's a pretty big mechanism. Shove that through. Grab a big socket here. How about that old Husky? There we go. So I could see, if you don't really want to carry a big driver, but you've got that 1/2-inch socket, maybe for a wheel bearing or something, you're off-roading. Well, you could, if you've got a set of larger wrenches, a 19 anyway, you could get by with it as your ratchet driver, because sometimes a little tiny sockets like that aren't in everyone's toolbox. If you want to, your 1/2-inch one there. But the 4th part, that is this guy right here. This fits into a 10 millimeter and just pops right in and stays. Allows you to turn any wrench into a bit driver. This is on a static. If I put it on a, a dynamic wrench, like this 10 here, all of a sudden I've got a pretty decent bit driver. If you look at the different bits, it works great obviously with the long one. This is a standard length bit. Whoops. That's pretty much the shortest you can go with this. If you put one of the little really stubby bits in here, it drops way in. You might get a little bit of work out of that, but you can't get it out easily, so you've got to grab your pliers and pull it out. Anyway, you can see, small ratchets are great, nice to have handy. So if you've got your 10 millimeter and you want a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch ratchet as well, there you go, for a small expenditure. There are, oh yeah, like this is almost what we've turned that Vim into. If I throw my 10 back in there, you can see I've essentially created almost the same thing here. Same kind of ratcheting mechanism. So if this is handy, this is handy. So just takes it one more level. I don't know if this is near the strength, obviously, but you've got 2 inches of lever, so that's not much. And then of course you could do something like grab that 10 again and put the 10 Vim, I mean not the Vim, the Hazet in. Oops, not the 10, the 13. I think it's Hazet, however you say it. And I could, of course, put an extension on, and now I've got, again, quite a useful tool. Reaching into places. Of course, I've got my wrench when I need it, and I've got my box end, and I've got the equivalent of something here. And, of course, it makes sense to store it so you don't lose the thing into the back of a socket or an extension, something like that. So there they are, the Hazet Adaptor Set. There's a link below if you want to, I don't know, the prices seem to go all over the place, especially when I mention stuff, it gets a lot of hits. But for these 4 pieces, to me that seems like a great deal. To really take your regular kit, your off-roading kit, or your EDC kit to the next level by having the ability to take your wrenches to the next level. And that whole 10/4 thing, I mean, that's priceless there, what it just did. Anyway, with that, Doc out.